let's turn to Bud Light, shall we? Because, well, Bud Light is just going to go down in history as perhaps the worst marketing error ever. And Alyssa Schneiderhide, she was caught by the Daily Mail on the streets of New York City outside her apartment the other day. And she was asked, whether she had any comments on everything that's happening. Don't forget the stock. Anheuser-Busch, the stock, AB InBev, traded under ticker symbol BUD, Bud. It's lost $26 billion in market cap since this whole Dylan Mulvaney disaster. Incredible. And, whether she likes it or not, it's kind of on her. The Harvard girl who doesn't understand marketing 101, as in do not completely alienate all of your customers single-handedly in one shot. Funny that Lori Lightfoot is going to go teach at Harvard, right? We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, first back to Alyssa Heinerschneid. $26 billion loss at the company. And she's asked, does she have a comment or anything? And her friend intervened and said she can't comment. Interesting. She can't comment. She's suing him? She might be, right? Look, in fairness, it's quite possible. All right, let me just be, because I'm a nice person. In fairness, look, it's quite possible that the reality of this one was that Alyssa was told by management, here are your talking points. We can't be the fratty beer anymore. We need to make sure we're different. And so she was told all these things, and these were her talking points. For all we know, and I have no idea, but for all we know, somebody arranged her little podcast thing. Remember the podcast thing where she talked about how she needed to change the brand? Can we watch again just for fun?
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super clear mandate. It's like, we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men. Mm-hmm. And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. Bud Light had been kind of a brand of... Whoa.
Oh, how did I do that? Let's listen to the rest.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor. And it was really important that we had another approach.
Okay. So she wanted that other approach, which is how she wound up with, the rather infamous.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do.
That didn't work out so well for her. Now, did it? And but again, back to why she can't comment. It's not that she doesn't have a comment. It's that she, quote, can't comment, which makes me think like something's going on there, because she might say, hey, listen, you guys gave me this mandate. These were my talking points. Maybe she didn't, for all you know, maybe she had emails saying, I don't agree with this, but okay, whatever. So she's got this mandate, and this is why I'm getting at the CEO of the company. I think the CEO ultimately is responsible here. And he's trying to pin it on her. He's trying to pin it on the other guy, her boss. Then he's trying to say, oh, it's just misinformation. And really it was just one campaign, one influencer, et cetera. I think he actually is ultimately going to be in jeopardy here. But so if her directive was, okay, this is what you got to do, and she's following orders, and they book her on a podcast, which I'd be surprised that they would do, but who knows? And she goes on the podcast, she does all this. And then, she goes out and hires, by the way, maybe she didn't, she hired the marketing agency, et cetera. Maybe it was a marketing agency that they had been using forever that the CEO loved. Who the heck knows? And then all of a sudden you have the Dylan Mulvaney skit that comes out. And sure enough, like the world goes insane, understandably so, because they've just completely insulted the beer. And you combine that with the podcast excerpt and you got a lot of trouble. And so I wonder, when she said her friend said she can't comment, is she suing Anheuser-Busch and will she have a case there? That will be interesting to see. I mean, she certainly made some errors, but it's entirely possible that these were errors that were actually higher up, right? By the CEO even. And you have to ask, is she the one paying the price? I think ultimately, like he's probably going to have to go. I don't know how you preside over an organization that's losing $26 billion worth of market cap. I mean, if I'm a shareholder, I'm like, hey, you know what? No can do. I need new management and you better retire that Bud Light brand ASAP. Name it something else. You can keep your factories, come up with a new beer or something. Maybe it even has the same taste, although people will probably figure that out, so it may not work. But these are all real things. Real things.